Woo! Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming. My name is Day, and I am joined by wrong side, my amazing co-host. I went that way. I fixed it, guys.
Man, no, the way you like begin the turn helps you to like just like readjust real quick. So I totally get it.
Please introduce yourself and tell us what you're doing today.
Hey everybody, I'm Cache. My channel is Shay with the Hobbies. I be writing, I be reading, and I be creating. If that's something that you like, definitely make your way over to my channel. But beware, your girl is black with a big B, so be prepared for all things that. So here's the thing. I was working on this crochet tote bag this week, and I just was doing the wrong stitches. So I'm about to close this off and restart with the correct stitches and the correct pattern and just see what goes from there. And so while I'll be doing that, I'll be listening to American Gods, because guess who dusted me in finishing it?
Sorry.
She's already done, and your girl is 2 hours in with 18 hours left to go. So your girl's going to be reading all day today, for sure.
You got it. It's gonna be fine. And like I was telling Shay is reading multiple things. Shay finished 2 books already this week. I finished a single book, and I was only reading a single book. So, also the crochet. Does it look nice though?
Well, I mean, okay, so you can't tell that it's supposed to be like a letter in the middle of this, because I realized what I was doing wrong. But like, I mean, the stripes were looking good and stuff. So like you get an idea of what it's going to be. And I'm also trying to decide because, okay, so I guess with the light, you can see it better. Because I was trying to decide if the letter just needed to be a completely different color instead of this like variegated pink.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to decide if I need to grab like a white or like a yellow or like an accent color for this, just to make the like letter pop more. So yeah, so it wasn't like horrible, but so like you can see the holes like in this, and in the actual bag, like they're not. So like it was like single crochets, and I thought I was doing half double crochets, and that's just not gonna work here. So
Gotcha.
I'm gonna be fixing it.
And so, like, just because I don't crochet, like, can you just unravel it?
I mean, yeah, I could, but so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off this line, and then eventually I'll come back and like make a like matching side, and then just have it for like an example bag, right? Like or something to put it in, like something to put yarn in, because it's like, why unravel all this? Because the thing is, it's already cut. So like, it's cut for this, and this isn't going to be the right size because the stitches are smaller. So it's like, I might as well just not unravel it. So
Gotcha.
That was a lot, but yeah.
No, that makes so sense. That's why I'm like, because on mine, when I switch, because it's all one color, like I don't cut it, but like I use it all the way to the end. So like I could just undo it and like reuse it. So that's why I was just wondering, like, if you cut it,
which is also why I want to do a couple of just plain solid color bags to have for display. So it's like, if you don't want a stripe or you don't want a design and you just want, but it also makes for like different pricing. This plain color bag is one price, the like stripes is another, right? Because they do change up how much work you got to do.
For sure. Y'all just be on the lookout for this, I don't want to say Etsy page because I know stuff's going on with Etsy, but
man, right? I'm keeping my eye on it for sure.
You never know, but like just be over on Shay's channel, Shay's social media for the updates. All right. What I am reading, I am going to start Gallant, and I was telling Shay that the comp title was Crimson Peak meets something. And I kind of want to say Haunting of Hill House or something like that. I'm not 100% sure.
Hey, that is interesting, because Crimson Peaks is that like 90 murder mystery show, like, right?
I think it's actually a relatively recent movie.
Okay. Well, then maybe
It
not
has,
what I thought it was then.
it has Tom Hiddleston in it. That's Tom Hiddleston.
I'm gonna have to look that up then. Okay, because I thought it was maybe not. No, I'm thinking Twin Peaks. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I was like, wait, nope. As you said it, I was like, I'm thinking something different. Never mind. Ignore me, y'all. I don't know what I'm talking about.
It's all right. So I can't remember if that exactly is the comp title, but either way, I don't actually know a ton about this book, so I'm going to read it. I looked up on Scribd and there is an audiobook, so I'm going to listen while I clean and see how it is.
I could also listen while I clean, but because I'm like using the phone, it's a lot of work to have to move that to where I can hear it. Hey. So it's funny because, like, you know, Cleo is bigger than Titan. You know, she's the bigger dog. And so, like, whenever they start fighting, like, Cleo or Titan goes for her neck and she goes for his leg to, like, pull his leg out from under him every time. And I'm like, buddy, like, you haven't learned yet? Like, she does this every time. It's hilarious. It's really, like, experience all over here, like, age before beauty, for real. Woo!
Yeah. He's got to learn eventually.
He's got to learn. Off the rug, buddy. Move.
Eventually. I will let you guys know about this book because I was betrayed the last book I read. Not to, you know, throw some shade, but the last B.E. Schwab book that was very hyped up was not my favorite book, and I DNF'd it. Like 200 pages in, so it's not like I didn't give it a shot. Like I read half.
No, that's definitely giving it a shot, for sure.
Yeah. So we shall see with this one. Cool Gamer. Hello. Thanks for coming.
And happy Easter Sunday if you guys celebrate it. We didn't say that. Like, hey, if you celebrate it, happy Easter Sunday.
Happy Easter. Happy long weekend. You guys got a long weekend too, right?
No, we don't. I was talking to Paul about that this morning. I was like, yo, it's interesting, like, how many Sunday holidays we have. And I wonder if the American government did that so they wouldn't have to pay federal holidays. Because, like, Christmas is a federal holiday no matter what day it falls on. And it's technically like Easter doesn't fall on the same day every year, but it's always a Sunday. And I was like, I wonder.
You never know. I mean, you could probably guess, but
that part, right?
Yeah, we get like the the Friday and the Monday, so like it's been a really long weekend, which I have zero complaints about.
Right?
But it's just strange because usually it's like 2-day weekend and it's not enough, and you come to work on Monday tired, and now I'm like, oh.
You better be relaxed on Tuesday.
Yeah. I'm gonna try. SM Ryan, I feel like Shay, you told me this person's name before.
Huh?
This person's name. Do you know?
I feel like it's Sam, like Samantha, but I could be wrong. But I always say SM Ryan.
Okay.
But I feel like it could be because I feel like I've seen it on something, but I could be wrong.
If you have a preference for anything else, let me know. But I'll
let us know.
Ryan.
Because I sure have not asked.
Thank you for coming. Hello, everybody. If you are reading, let us know what you're reading. If you are here for productivity, let us know what you're up to. All right. Are you ready to get started, Shay?
I am definitely ready.
Okay. I'm getting the hang of this. I just have to say, it's getting easier.
And it's really not as hard once you start getting the hang of it, right?
Yeah, it's definitely just gotta,
It's more nerves than the actual like hosting part, I think.
Yeah. That part. Short for Samantha. So Sam or Samantha is always fine.
Oh yeah. See, I be trying to pay attention.
You remember everything. Holy, that's why Shay is my person. Like, I'd be like, I'm very good at like recognizing like faces, and like I'll be like, yes, I recognize the username, but I don't remember the name associated with
Yeah,
it.
no, for sure. She's the one of the editors out there, so I'm like keeping my eye for when I self
Oh,
publish and like, hey, I'm trying to give her some business.
okay.
I know,
Well,
right?
now I just learned that. So
She do manuscript critiques and everything. Go check out her Instagram.
please let us know what the name is. I'll pin it. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. We are going to sprint in 3, 2, 1. Everybody get some work done. Beep, 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 beep. Sprint is over. Everybody, let us know how you did. And Shay, let me know how you did.
Okay, so I think I'm listening on like 2 speed. So I got almost an hour of reading down. So now I'm like at 17 hours and 13 minutes left. And so Laura just showed up. And so it's the morning after Laura showed up. Don't like Laura. I'm curious if Wednesday is Odin. But then I'm like, I don't know enough about the Norse or whatever guys to like know, but the like references of things he saw, like going to see Wednesday and then that coming to America scene like right after. Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Yeah, so I don't like Laura, so there's that. And then I'm intrigued to see what this meeting that they're about to go to is. Also, I'm mad at myself because apparently I did this first row of stitches way too tight, so it's taking longer to go in.
Oh no. Oh no.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just gonna say I'm right there with you about not liking Laura. I actually like when we watch the show, we will discuss more, but they actually made her a lot better in the show, which I appreciate.
Yeah, in the book, like I'm like, girl, that is not a good enough reason.
No, and like I get the feeling in the book that she's there only as like a plot device for Shadow, you know?
Yeah,
And
I can see that.
no
I'm also like, why are you here?
Yeah. And that's what like I felt like the whole book. But like in the show, she actually is relevant. But like we'll discuss when we watch the show. Anyways, are you liking it so far? Like any have your thoughts changed?
I really don't have a lot of feelings. I'm just like, where is this going? Cause like I'm still super. I mean, obviously it's 17 hours. I'm only like 2-3 hours in the book, so obviously I'm still like super duper new in there. But I'm also like, what's gonna happen? So yeah.
I feel like I was like that for like the first 3/4 of the book, and then it like kind of all came together.
No, I definitely feel like you were too. That's why, like, when you were like chapter 14, and then you were like, I finished. I was like, oh wow, it must have got really good because we were all kind of like reading at a similar pace at first.
Yeah.
And then you were just done, and I was like, oh, so it must pick up because where I'm at, it's not picked up yet. It's still like, oh, okay. There's laying groundwork for stuff. I get it.
And I did appreciate, like, in the what do you call it? Like when Neil Gaiman was like wrote his thing at the beginning, and he's like, it's a meandering book, and I'm like, you know what? That's an accurate description of this book.
Yeah, I definitely am seeing that for sure. Well, that and like, cause these like interludes don't really like make sense, and maybe they will by the time I've like read through all of them. But right now, it's just like, is this just to divide up the story? So yeah. American Gods, my bad. I didn't even see that the comment was up. My bad.
No worries. And hello, Bree.
Hi, Bree. Good morning.
We're using Bree's timers, just so everybody knows. Lockbooktition. Amazing timers, amazing channel. Go check Bree out. I was reading Gallant, as I said, and I was cleaning my house. I stopped at chapter 3, so I'm like 21 pages in. It's, first of all, a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Scribd says, like, at the speed that I'm listening, it's only 3.5 hours.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so, like, it's pretty short, which I was not
expecting. It doesn't look little, though.
That's no, it doesn't. It's 334 pages. But, like, I opened up the book to find my page, and I'm like, oh, yeah, like, the text is kind of large.
Okay, got you.
And it's also like they're not like full length, like full height pages, if that makes sense.
Got you. No, that
So
makes sense.
yeah, it's makes sense that it's shorter. But anyways, I'm enjoying it. I didn't realize that the main character is mute.
Okay.
It's really interesting. I didn't get it until, I guess that was the whole point, is until she's trying to talk to somebody and they're like, oh, and they're like, where's your chalkboard? And she's like, fuck the chalkboard. But anyways,
okay.
the comp title is actually, it's not Haunting Hill House, it's The Secret Garden. That is the other comp title.
Oh, okay. So is it YA or is it adult?
I think it's YA.
Okay.
The girl's in like currently she's in a kind of like an orphanage, but it's a school for girls kind of thing. School in quotations.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know how old she is currently. Young enough to not be able to live on her own. That's
okay.
That's all I got.
Why do you put school in quotations?
Because she made it seem less of like a school and more of like a, you learn how to clean and cook and sew clothing. And she said like one of their things, they learn how to like clean out a fireplace. So school.
Got you.
In quotations. So Tay came by.
Hey.
Thank you. Hope you have a good holiday. My little sister was in here. Hi, Nevi.
Hey.
I'll text you. Sarah Cahill came in. Sarah also has a YouTube channel. You guys should check it out. And then Bree. Bree popped in. Hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you for your timers.
Hey.
And Vicky. Hello.
Vicky.
Thanks for coming by.
Good morning, girl.
Oh, I keep forgetting that it's morning for you. I keep looking. I'm like,
yeah, it's almost noon.
Almost. All right. So my dog is making a ton of noise behind me. Are you ready for? Yes, my baby. Oh, look! I said my dog, and then he came over. Echo, come here.
He was like, I know what that word means.
There you go.
Yeah, I should not have done these this tight. If I could get through this first row, I swear.
Struggle is real?
Yes, super real. And I'm only like halfway through.
Oh no. Struggle. Oh, I'm so excited when we're done the stream. This little man is going into the bath.
Part of me just wants to like undo this and just completely redo it, but that's like even more work, so no.
Is it? Would it be like?
Because I have to start all over. I'd have to like undo it and then do 3 rows. I'm technically on the 3rd row. Huh?
Oh, okay. I see. I thought it was just like 1 row, but if it's a few rows, yeah.
Yeah, no, because you know, like you chain the first row and then you go into it. So I'm in the 2nd row. So like the chain is a row, then the row that I did, and that is too tight. See, like your girl was like, okay,
got it.
My crochet
my crochet knowledge is lacking. Vicky said it's morning for Vicky as well, but it's almost 1. You know what? That's fine. It's a holiday. It's Sunday. You do you, boo. You do you. Went to sleep way too late. You know who else also went to sleep too late?
Shut up. Didn't nobody ask you. Didn't nobody ask you. Yeah, it was totally like 5 a.m. when I went to bed. Yeah.
That's not even late. That's just, you just didn't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I did go to sleep because I didn't wake up till like 10 something.
No, you had a
9 nap. Yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna go to sleep after this. Like, there definitely will be a nap taken, especially if my cousins hit me up and are like, "Come over," because then I'm definitely gonna need sleep because then I'm gonna be around like 3 highly energized kids who had sugar.
Yeah. Oh no.
Right.
No, for me, I was in bed. I didn't go to bed till like 11, but I was like dead tired at 11 because of this stupid 5 a.m. nonsense that I keep doing.
That's funny. So I totally and like I did not plan to stay up that late. What happened was I was like watching a Twitch stream, and then after the Twitch stream, a few of us was like catching up on stuff that was happening in this Discord we're a part of. And then you know how you get fired up talking about something and you two wide awake. So we're like, okay, put on a movie and we'll fall asleep. But nobody fell asleep in the first movie. And so then it was time for the second movie, and we were like, well, okay. And by then I was getting up and fixing me something to eat because I was hungry.
Wow. Again, I would have been fully deceased. Like, I literally, like, at 11, I was like, I can't keep my eyes open any longer.
Yeah.
Any longer. Like, I had a show playing, and I'm like, my brain is starting to get foggy. Like, I don't know what just happened the last 5 minutes because you do, like, one of those long blinks.
What the long blinks?
And you're like, oh, wait, what happened?
I know exactly what you mean. That's funny. Oh my God, so far getting in this stitch.
Vicky said, my body be like, you've gotten me way too used to 6 to 8 hours at night. I'm not about to start pulling all-nighters again. Relatable. All-nighters are not a thing.
Okay, yeah, I gotta undo it because this just ain't gonna work. Well, never mind. I just gotta redo this because I was like, I can't get into this. Oh my gosh. That was 30 minutes worth of work, y'all. Look at that.
I'm sorry, my friend.
Crocheting is not easy. And I'm trying to do a crochet bag a day. I thought.
You can do it. You can do it. I believe in you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. That's the kind of faith I need.
Okay. Well, now that you're going to get back to work, we will start up our next 30-minute sprint.
Yay.
All right. Am I ready? I am ready. So we're going to sprint in 3, 2, 1. Everybody get some work done. Beep, 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 beep. How did everybody do? Take out my headphones. Okay. Shay, how did you do?
Okay, so it says I have 16 and a half hours left. I have just over 3 hours. I'm in chapter 4. 3 hours in and I'm in chapter 4. Just let y'all know how this is going. And as you see, I'm doing much better this time. I'm almost done with the second row, so it's
nice.
Okay, so I wish I had a physical copy because I can't tell the difference between these 3 sisters' names. They're in Chicago, and their names audibly sound almost alike. Like the only one who sounds a little bit different is the one who was asleep, but the first 2, bruh, I think is they both name is Venture Yaya. That's what it sounds like to me. So I'm like, what is going on here? I thought it was funny that dude was like, if I beat you in checkers, I get to hit you over the head with a sledgehammer and kill you. What? Okay. So yeah, still intrigued. Still don't know what the F is going on. But I'm still intrigued. So there's that.
I just like the fact that my guy was like, sure. Like, you beat me, sure, you can hit me, that's fine.
Right. And I like how, like, also, can I just say that, like, the way you just be going to sleep in these strange people's houses so easily is weird to me because I can't sleep in strangers' houses. No. Like, I can't. I'd be like.
I feel like as a whole, Shadow has this
super calm demeanor. Yeah, like don't nothing faze him or nothing. Like, I'm like, bruh, this is a trauma response. I want you to know that. Because, like, you don't react to anything. Also, I thought it was funny when the lady was like, "Oh, yeah, no, why go to a hotel? You can stay here and then pay us for what you would have paid to stay at a hotel." First of all, lady, I would have had a bed if we were at a hotel, not this couch. So that, and then I don't know. Every time, ever since you've been around Wednesday, you fall asleep and weird stuff happen. I just couldn't be comfortable falling asleep. I just couldn't. That's how I feel right now. I'm like, Shadow, how are you this calm? Like, bruh, you woke up and saw muddy footprints to let you know you wasn't dreaming, but you just, okay, bruh, whatever.
Honestly, that was my thing through the whole book, is I'm like, okay, so much stuff is happening to you, and you're like, sure, that's it. Like, it's not like a, I wonder why, or, like, he's like, no, sure, that's fine. Are you real? Sure. Did that happen?
Right.
Sure.
Like, you have low key met like 5 gods at this point, and like, I know you don't realize it, but like, you gotta realize something don't make sense. Like, you fight one dude, you wake up asleep in the car, you walking through a ditch, you wake up bound in somebody's car, and there's a fat kid telling you like, "I'ma kill you," and you just like, okay, I'll tell him. No, I'll tell him. You can let me off right here.
It's like, sure.
Right? Like, it's just like, bruh, you are way too calm for this to make me feel like, are you part God and you just don't realize it? Because like, that's the only way I can see a human being completely calm.
Actually, that part is a really good point. Like, when he's in that car and he's like, the guy's like, don't mess with me, and he's like, okay.
Right.
I'm like, this kid just pulled you into a car. He seated you beside these 2 dudes who are ready to beat you up. And
Who
like,
have stopped you on command.
yeah.
Like, you feel something weird about this kid. You feel something is off for sure. Like, I'm just like, buddy, I just want you to know you're a little too confident. Oh, dang, I didn't put the stitch marker back in here.
Oh no.
Okay, hold on. Let me do that real quick. Oh, you can talk. I'm just going to count.
Vicky is correct. Passively watching the story play out. That honestly is very true of Shadow, because he's just like, yeah, sure. Like, that's cool.
Right.
Yeah. 100% agree with you. For me, I'm in chapter 5, I believe.
Okay.
Chapter 5, I'm on page 58.
Nice.
And I'm also already in part 2 of the book, which is strange. I wonder if there's like a lot of parts, because I'm literally only 5 chapters in. I'm in part 2. But
yeah, and that's like 10 pages a chapter. That's not a lot. Like,
she basically has gotten to this house, like, thought she was an orphan, and then she gets a letter from an uncle calling her to this house, and then she arrives and nobody knows that she's coming, and the dude that sent the letter has apparently been dead for a year. So they're all like, who are you? Why are you here? It's interesting so far. I'm definitely liking it a lot more than Addie LaRue, and yeah, it's going well. Also, she has like, I'm glad that I have a physical copy, because she has like, what do you call it? Illustrations in here.
that's cool.
They're so pretty. She like, every once in a while, every like couple chapters, there's one in there. So I think she posts some of them on her Instagram as well. But
that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah, no, I definitely like illustrations. It's another reason why I really want to self-publish, because like, in Becca's book, Geraldine's Alley, there's like little chapter pictures, and it's like a boy and a girl dancing, and I'm like, you don't get those unless they're special editions in traditional publishing. I don't like that, because I've already been like playing with what I want for Penelope's Curve, and I want like a sketch of wild onions for the chapter dividers for each one. Like, y'all, whenever this book comes out, y'all gonna be like, okay, she did that. It's gonna be slow and steady, but it's gonna be like exactly how I want it. Which I feel like that's the other like great part of self-publishing is like you can determine how you want it to look, and you don't have to stop until you get that.
Mm-hmm. I will also say like a lot of my favorite covers, like unless you're like a really big trad pub author, then you get like really awesome covers. But like a lot of my favorite covers are like self pub because then you can just go and be like, okay, this is what I want for the cover, and you have like an actual say,
right,
in what goes into the cover.
Right. No, I totally agree. I totally agree. Like, because I've really been thinking about it, and I was like, do I even want a human on the cover of Penelope's Curve? I really don't. Like, I don't like want that. And if I did, I don't want it to be a picture of a human. I'd rather it be illustrated. Like, I love illustrated covers. Like, I prefer them.
I'm just trying to think of what cover I have that I could show that I really like. That's for sure.
I got quite a few that I like. I don't know about how much I like the actual books that's behind them, but the covers are dope.
That's relatable. Ooh, okay, hold on. I have one.
You bought Ace of Spades, right?
Is that self-pub?
No, it's Trap Up.
Oh, okay. This one. So can't say that I love the book, but I love
man. What's her name? Kahila Harry, the cover to her book. Oh my gosh, it's so dope. Super dope.
Oh, I forgot. Oh, y'all, I totally forgot that I got this. I love these things, honestly. Like, if anybody ever sends me stuff, or if I have the opportunity to buy it with like little extras, I will always get them because.
Oh yeah, no, that's totally what I plan to do. Like a pre-order campaign with like extra stuff and whatnot. Like,
yeah. Okay. Cat came by. Hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you. And Violet came as all right. Writing Violet.
Hey y'all. Sorry, the dogs were being loud, so I had to mute myself. But hey.
Vicky did not do great. A little bit of reading, little watching videos, lots of staring at the wall and trying not to fall asleep.
Like multitasking to me.
You also stayed up really late, correct? Because that, guys should get some sleep. Just saying.
Oh, I'm totally gonna get some sleep. No, you ain't gotta worry about me. You ain't gotta worry. That's down on Instagram. I'm gonna get my sleep.
Yes, Shay is reading American Gods, correct. Not a big fan of human pictures on covers. I agree. Yeah. Honestly, even
y'all don't ever pick the model that looks like how you describe the person in the book, in my opinion. Like, I'm always like, that's not the picture I got. That's not the picture I got.
Yeah, I just I feel like it's kind of hit or miss, and I don't know. I feel like there's like a, what do you call it? Like that little golden space in the middle where it looks like a real person, but it also looks like an illustration. That's where it is for me. Because if it looks too cartoony, I don't like it. And if it's like an actual person, it reminds me of like a romance novel, which there's nothing wrong with a romance novel, but that's like what they're known for, is having people on the cover.
Right.
So I want that. Like,
I like it's like I love the cover to Blood Like Magic, because I feel like it's just enough human like person to me to think that you have like a model that you based it off of, with still like looking individualistic. And because of the cover, I feel like it did a better job of having like me shape what Boyle looked like prior to like, had you done it without a person on there and let me read the book and then done this cover, if that makes sense.
I also just love that like we put in Black girls on the covers.
Right. And that's why I said that's how I know they've been trying to bamboozle us. Because they knew we were asking for this. They knew we were asking for this. We want black girls on the cover, and they were
Mhm.
like, because like the cover to Ace of Spades is gorgeous.
It's so nice. Oh my gosh, where is
But
it?
I'm not reading that book to save my life.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Are you gonna read it? Because if you do, I really want to know. I really want to know. I feel like you're gonna be tortured, but I really just want to know that reading experience.
I kind of want to read it because I've lived the experience that you described to me, like that is going on in the book, like part of the experience, obviously not.
Okay, I was about to say, because I feel like you really did it. I feel like you were this is insidious AF.
Not that part.
Girl, when I was watching reviews, I was like, that was the twist. Like that was what you. How is anybody supposed to have hope after reading that? Like that sounds so discouraging about life. Like why would you do that to children?
Yeah. I honestly, one of my goals is like to get through my books that I bought. So like, and I will at least try it.
No, and that's what I figured was because since you actually had a physical copy, you were gonna try it. Because like I haven't read the Gilded ones, and it's like one of the only physical books I bought within the last like 2 years that I have not finished reading, and I want to get through it so that I can decide if I like it or not. But it starts off like, whoa, this is a lot.
Is there an audiobook for it?
Yeah, and that's how I was listening to it. It was the audiobook, and I was like, maybe I don't need to listen. I don't know. I went back to it since the beginning of last year. It's sad.
Yes. I do own that one as well, and I haven't read it, but we shall see. Vicky has been trying to read The Savior's Champion for years, can't seem to get past the prologue. I am the same. Not the prologue. I think it was chapter 2 I got to, and it was like the whole scene in the tent where he's getting ready to like be chosen to go through, and like they're testing his sperm and whatever. And I was like, you know what? Maybe this is not for me. But I hear great things about it, and I own it. So
See, I've only heard negative things about it, so I'm definitely intrigued. I have not heard positive things about it, and it's all whenever I've heard it spoken of, I've heard of it been like ATs who like give advice that they don't adhere to. Yeah, so I'm definitely curious if y'all finish it, y'all thoughts. Because I've never subscribed to her channel, and I don't think I've ever like seen a video all the way through, so I don't like know what advice she gives out to not like listen to it, but that's like been a common thing I've heard.
Interesting. See, when I hear stuff like that, that makes me want to read it more.
Right.
Now I gotta investigate.
Okay. Right. For sure.
Investigate. Yeah. Well, there's like 3 now, right? Vicky?
I know. I think there's at least 2, because I think there's the Savior's Champion and then the Savior's Sister or something. But I don't know. I know that she had another book before that like she doesn't talk about and has like kind of low key tried to wipe from people's memory. Because like the Savior's Champion wasn't her first book apparently like that. I don't know. But other than that, I don't know.
I can't think of what it's called.
I'm really trying to figure it out, because I'm like, I feel like these books have been out for almost the entire time I've been a part of the YouTube community. So like, have you written anything else? I'm curious.
I definitely Eve the Awakening. That's why I was like, I feel like I know what it is.
Yeah, the first one, Eve. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm trying to think. The only authored 2 book that I bought was The Healer's Love. I feel like everything else I've gotten from like ARC reading and stuff. And that was Becca's books, and then
Blood Like Magic. That's not.
Yeah, Blood Like Magic, Becca's book, and the Kahila Harry's book, which I haven't finished. And I just think I think it has so much potential. I just think that it just like.
Which one is that again?
What is it called? I said that like I'm not using my phone right here.
My bad.
I'll send you a picture of it because I screenshot it, because I feel like when I saw the cover, I sent it to you because I was like, yo, this is a dope cover. But and I know it's in my story graph. Like if you go to the like books I'm reading that I haven't finished, I know it's in there. But I cannot remember the name of it.
All right, I will have to investigate because I don't remember. I
Okay.
feel like you probably did tell me about it, but Vicky has a chapter to read and a video to watch. I'm so glazy-eyed. That was me at 11 o'clock last night.
I believe it.
So tired. Vicky said, I'm yet to see a model that works for the character in the book. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. Because
Right.
people just end up disappointed, right? Like you think the person looks one way and then you're like, no.
That's not how you describe them in the book. Right.
Yeah. Blood Like Magic's cover is great. It is really pretty. Blade So Black. I don't think I've actually seen.
I've seen it. I think A Blade So Black has a dope cover. I haven't read the books though.
Oh, actually, I have seen this one. I lied. I have seen this one. It does look great. But like that one has an actual person on it, which is cool.
Right.
What's Wrong with Ace of Spades? It's on my TBR. I have not read it, so I will pass you along.
Okay, so Ace of Spades, the way that I've seen it described by numerous people in this kind of fashion was it's written as if a racist white person wrote what they thought the Black American experience is. And it's supposed to be set in America, except for like the person who wrote it is from the UK, and they like kept like UK terms for school and like whatnot in there, so that kind of like throws the story off. And the other part, like I know me and they have talked about like what the twist was or whatever and why I wouldn't read it. So if you want me to tell you, I will tell you. Just put it in the chat. Like go ahead and say it, and I'll say it. Because like again, I have not read the book. This is all from like watching videos and whatnot and being like, oh, okay, I'm gonna save myself some like issue. And low key, because y'all know that if an author starts to talking stupid, I'll go read the book and hate read it. Low key, she don't be saying that, and she just be writing. And it's like, okay, well, if you're not gonna sit here and try to tell people what your book is or isn't, then I guess I don't have to hate read it. I could just leave it alone. Because Sheriff Farrah was garbage.
Yikes.
I would not recommend that to anybody.
Yikes. Big yikes. Well, there you have it. I have not read it. It is on my TBR as well. And like I said, I will probably try it. Just because I bought it. So I don't want to like.
Right. And that's the only reason I'm glad I didn't buy it, because I would have felt compelled to have to read it.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, I gotta know. I spent the money.
Exactly.
And she almost got me because she has some really beautiful pre-order stuff. She almost got me.
Yep. Witches Steeped in Gold. The cover was bomb. I agree. It was super nice.
Super
and actually, what was the horror one that came out was it last year? The Year of the Witching. I think that one is so pretty as well.
I definitely want to read The Year of the Witching, that especially because I know like she has another book coming out this year, like in that series. So I definitely want to read that one.
Yeah, I have it on my shelf. I have a bunch of spooky books and I don't know when to read them. Like I want to do it October, but I also don't want to wait until October because it's so far away.
That makes sense.
We'll see. We shall see. Yes, Eve the Awakening was the first book. Can you please stop, sir? Please. You're eating my hair. Yeah. So, Shay, let me know because we have like 15 minutes to the 2-hour mark. Would you like to do another sprint? Would you like to call it?
We could do one more if you want. Like I'm not against it.
Okay, and how long do you want to do?
Well, I was gonna say another 30, but then that would put us like 20 minutes over. I don't know if you're okay with that or not.
That's fine with me. It doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah, then I'm fine with like one final 30.
Alrighty. Vicky. I read most of that one. It's not bad, not great. Kind of all over the place with when things happen and how much the aliens are actually in the story. I'm assuming this is Eve the Awakening.
Eve the Awakening, gotcha.
Yeah. Gotcha. And like I feel like that would be like a common thing because it is her first book, right?
Right.
Yes, your first book is your worst book kind of thing.
That is not at all what I hope. I do not want that to be my language. My first book, not with how much like I don't know. I feel like
but your first book being your worst book doesn't mean it's a bad book.
right. I think yeah. Okay, I can agree with that. I can understand that. Yeah.
Just means that you just keep getting better, like fine wine, better with age, right? Okay, we will do one more sprint. See how far we can get. Let me share.
The way I think that I'm doing these stitches loose, but every time I try to go back into them, I'm like, they're not as loose as I thought. Okay. Little frustrated, not gonna lie.
Take your time, girl. You can do it. Okay. So we're gonna do one more 30-minute sprint before we head out. So we're gonna start in 3, 2, 1. Everybody get some work done. Beep, beep, beep. Sprint is over. Everybody, let us know how you did. Shay, let us know how you did when you're ready.
All right, I'm 3 hours and 45 minutes in, exactly like 16 hours left.
Nice.
They have just scouted out the bank that they're talking about robbing, and then the coming to America. It sounds like, well, one, what nobody likes to acknowledge, that everybody that came over to America were prisoners, and that's why they were here. Like, they were not the best of the best England have to offer. Like, they were criminals in the eyes of Europe or England or whatever. And so, just how like this lady just kept like getting pregnant so she wouldn't have to get hung, and like
Yep.
it just makes me laugh, like how proud to be an American we are, like knowing these things, like to be things that are true. Like, I always say that, like when people be like, our founding fathers were fucking criminals and descendants of criminals. Like, no. And it's legitimately like the story of the birth of America is about a bunch of fucking traitors. So like, it's just weird that people are proud of it to me. So reading that section just made me giggle. I still don't necessarily have any positive or negative feelings towards the book. I'm still just intrigued. Mm-hmm. And I feel like what you said, like it'll probably be majority of the book. I'll feel like that till whatever happens. But yeah, I'm like, ooh, 16 hours to go. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Honestly, like I feel like I got through like more than, or no, just under like half the book. Like the last day I read a lot of the book because it like really picks up, and like you have to know how it ends. I'm like, there's only like 50 pages left. Like, let me just finish, whatever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Enjoyed it. And also, like, I love the Coming to America because they're like, how would I describe them? They're not really relevant to the story, but they're also like, I feel like they're really honest. Like, same like what you're talking about, like the people who came over were criminals. That was literally their punishment, was to come over. Right. Like, there's a lot of interesting stuff that I never would have known about.
Right.
And like it's presented in a way that's not like, oh, like let's make this really pretty and oh, I feel so bad for her. Like, no, like this girl didn't want to die, so she kept just having babies and being like, oh, you can't kill me. What about my baby?
Right. So, and like the way that like she knew she was gonna get pregnant is just interesting. Mm-hmm. Because it's not like she slept with these people like multiple times and got pregnant. Like, in one, it's like some dude said something and she just pulled up her skirt and let him hit and then was pregnant. Like, what? It's weird. And then I think the other part that's interesting to me is that like American gods is a misnomer because none of these gods so far are American. Yeah. Like, they all come from other countries here because of like their believers. And so I'm intrigued to see like, do we actually see American gods? Because to me that would be like native indigenous, right? So I'm curious if we ever like get that in this book.
I feel like honestly that's the point of the book, is that it's called American Gods, but you telling these stories like coming to America, and like all of these people were brought from somewhere else into this melting pot society, and we call it American, but like, is it though?
Right.
Although right. I do think like the newer gods are supposed to be American, like the tech guy, like
right, yeah, like I can see that, right? But and I think that just goes into a conversation about idolatry, like how we make things gods, and not necessarily that there is a god of technology. It's like, no, we become idolizing these things and making them the center of our world, right? Like, how many of us can really, like, we can if we have to, but like no internet access at all? Most of us cannot survive in this country without that. Like, it's insane.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely, like I said, I'm intrigued to see where the story goes. And I'm hoping that like it picks up and I like it. But right now I'm just like, okay.
Mhm.
And I'm definitely getting the like I can tell this was written in the 2000s in the beginning.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, like I'm definitely like, oh, okay, y'all just be saying whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's some spots where I'm like, "Ooh, this is icky."
Right. And I
And
mean, like, it's not icky as in, like, because usually what's being said is by, like, a creature that's supposed to be, like, centuries old.
mm,
So it doesn't make me feel as bad as if it was, like, Shadow saying these things. Like, you
mhm.
should know better.
Yeah.
But still, it's like the things, like, the way society changes and what was acceptable versus what is acceptable now is just super interesting.
I hear you. I hear you 100%. And that's why, like, there's definitely like one part where I was like, "Oh no, like this is 2001 acceptable, not now acceptable." One
Right.
part in particular, but you're not there yet.
Yeah, no, I figured I'm not there yet. I figure I know when I got there,
Yeah,
I'd be like, "So this must have been what you was talking about, because
yeah.
this is
It's just gross. And I was like,
booty."
"No, thank you."
Right.
For me, I got to page 91.
Nice.
And basically my girl is trying to figure out what's going on in this house. She also sees ghosts, which is awesome. And the identity of two of the ghosts that she's seen has been revealed, and I don't want to spoil it because this is a new book and people can still read it. But
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was a new book. I thought it came
yeah.
out before Addie LaRue.
Oh no. I think it came out in March. I
Okay.
pre-ordered it and it came in March.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. You pre-ordered a book from an author that you had previously DNF'd. That is
Yes. And
intriguing.
I only did it because of the comp titles. And that's why I was like, I'm scared. But I did pre-order the book, and I'm liking it so far. It's good so far. I don't actually remember what chapter I'm on. I just started a new one. Chapter 9.
So you got almost like a third of the way through the book during the stream. That's not bad.
Seriously, actually, like
There's like 300 some pages and you almost to 100. Like that's not bad.
Yeah, it's and I'm just looking through it, and there's like a gray section in the book, and it looks like what do you call it? Like journal entries. So like there's a whole section of a book that's not actually the book. Like this section is all journal.
Okay.
So yeah. It's very interesting. I'm liking it so far. Definitely better than Addie LaRue. Although I will say Addie LaRue, the reason I didn't like Addie LaRue is because I feel like it didn't give what it promised. Like it promised like little we call it like little joys, little bits of happiness. And I'm like, where is the happiness? There's zero happiness. We're in a pandemic. We don't need this in our life.
We don't need a bunch of depressing stuff, right? I got you. Yeah, no, I think that's what's been bothering me a lot about a lot of these Black books. Like, y'all are focusing on race, and that's like, okay, cool. I understand there needs to be a conversation, but there's literally no bright spots in the book. Like, Black people are going through hell from the beginning to the end. Who is this supposed to be for? What is the message that you're sending? And I feel like people don't think about that in writing as they should anymore, and I don't understand.
Mm-hmm. I agree 100%. And that's literally like Addie LaRue. I'm like, okay, there are no little joys. And then I found out what the ending was as well. And I'm like, so there's zero like success in the entire book. And I was like, no, I'm done. 200 pages. I gave it my shot. That's it. Right. I'm liking this one a lot better. I'm 91 pages in, and it's good. I like it.
Well, good.
You know, hope that it stays that way.
Right.
Vicky said, and I believe this is because we were talking about Ace of Spades, Black American experience is different from the Black European experience and the African experience. Not surprised that there's a disconnect. or disconnection between the subject matter and what the author did.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's so totally different. And it's also like very proof that you don't like know America that well, because it's like he goes to this like really rich, prestigious school, like where him and the only other black girl the only other person is a black girl that's there. Which, if you look at that cover, and what I don't understand what the purpose of making that girl mixed was. I have no idea why you did that. Like, it just, yeah. So the girl is mixed. But you make it clear that she has like a Nigerian first and last name, even though her father is Italian. And it was just like, and then like, so the dude like grew up in the hood, has like a single parent mom, and like hates his life, hates his like where he grew up, hates his family, like all these different things. And it's like, the other part is like he can walk to his house from the like the rich school to his house. Where in America is that a thing? Right. It's not. Like, you gotta, at the very least, you gotta catch a bus or a train or something. Like,
Unless you're rich, you live in a rich area that's close by. But
right. But if you're not, and you're on scholarship, you're not in walking distance from, like, that's not, like, America is not a big walking distance state or country. Like, it's just not. Like, you, in most places in America, you have to have transportation or something to get around. Like, that's just how this country is made up. So it's like, did you even visit America before you wrote this? Or did you just like Google Maps everything? Because like, there's definitely a difference.
Yeah.
And I feel like if American authors have to like travel to places, like, why wouldn't you think if you live in another country that you should? I don't know. It's weird to me.
I hear you. I think the idea that there is a universal like Black experience needs to get out.
Right. There are universal Black things that we experience, like Twitter threads about like being raised by Black moms or like growing up in Black households. Like, you'll see people from all over different countries all having like these same similar experiences. So that is there. But like living in countries, no. Like, my life in Oklahoma is different from people who grew up in NYC, who grew up in Dallas, who grew up in LA. Like, like, and the other part is if you don't live in America, you really don't realize how big it is. Like, our states are as big or bigger than most countries. Like, so you don't realize when you're like trying to set up a thing, like if you haven't visited here, if you don't know people here, if you're not making an effort, like, just, it's not accurate.
You're right.
Like, as Americans, we don't realize how big this country is. People be like, I forgot Oklahoma was a state. Really? You did? Okay.
Oh, what do you even say to that?
Right. I'd be like, really? Especially when it's like somebody from Texas. You mean the state right above you? You just, okay.
Yeah. I would know how to respond to that. So, you know. Alicia came through. Hello. Thank you for coming. Books with Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Thank you for coming. Alicia is actually starting American Gods. Yay.
She was like, I'm probably going to be blowing you up about it. And I was like, girl, I don't know what's going on either. So we're both just going to not know what's going on.
Well, I finished. So if you want to send me any thoughts, let me know. Bonnie, no reading. Currently checking in with everyone's live sprints. Thank you.
Aww,
you the bomb.
We appreciate it.
Unearned patriotism. Yes, correct.
That part.
Correct. What's the quote of the day? Our founding fathers were criminals.
They're criminals. They were.
Yeah.
I mean, even outside of just the criminal things they did in America, like, they were criminals over there.
Yep. You're right. Alicia, I love Neil Gaiman, so I'm really excited to dive into this one. This is my first Neil Gaiman read, actually, and I enjoyed it.
This is my second, and so far I'm not liking it nearly as much as I liked the Anansi Boys. But it is still as intriguing as the Anansi Boys.
It's interesting because like American Gods came first, correct?
I think so. Yeah. I think it was first.
Maybe he just improved as he went along.
Right. Which I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that it's in like production right now. I cannot wait to see how that comes out.
What is?
Anansi Boys. Remember I sent y'all the link about Whoopi Goldberg isn't on The View right now because they're shooting for Anansi Boys. It's in our group chat. You must not have clicked the link.
Okay, I missed that. I did not see that, but that's awesome. That's exciting.
Yeah.
I feel like just from the reading the synopsis, I feel like it has an easier chance of being better because it's more focused. Because
it's specifically one guy and not like everybody and all that. So yeah.
I feel like that kind of would make it a little bit better because that is one of the problems with American Gods is that it's meandering and like you meet 5 million different gods and they literally just say the names of people and I'm like, well, I guess I gotta Google who that is because I don't know.
Right.
Educate myself. I never heard this name before. So yeah. Wait, what is this? Yes, I'm working.
So I'm working so if I could trust me, I would.
What did I miss? I missed something.
I don't know what I missed either. I'm like, what is it referring to?
I'm sorry, buddy. You have American Gods, just haven't picked it up yet. I would recommend it.
Oh, sure.
I think everybody else is kind of on the fence currently, but I finished it and I gave it a 5-star. It was probably more like a 4.5 star, but like that's not. I would rather give it a 5 than a 4. So that's that.
That makes sense.
Vicky said, "I think that's purposeful." I think that was with our American Gods. Like, are they American?
Yeah. No, I definitely think that was purposeful.
Mm-hmm. They got caught by the hype. You right though. Violet had mixed thoughts on Gallant, but did like it better than Addie LaRue. Perfect. That's
well, that's all that she was hoping for right now. As long as she like it and don't like it enough to not DNF it, then she's doing better.
That's all I want. Pat thought the same. The book was repetitive with nothing at the end. Yes. I feel like it was literally her living the same like couple of days over and over again with a different person to sleep with and a different tragedy and then the end. No. Anyways.
Like if you could not die, wouldn't you just change the way you live just because you could and nobody would remember? I don't know. I would think you want to do stuff differently.
Honestly, I have no idea. The whole thing, I was just like, this is depressing. And I'm living in a pandemic right now and I don't need it.
Right.
And that was it. Pat says they're always showing us suffering. You correct.
That part.
Vicky said, yeah, that's at least 2 buses and a short plane ride.
Right. Like it is not easy to get around in America. Like, bruh.
Vicky wants to know what the twist is.
Oh, okay. So the twist is that like every white person is bad. Like there's no good white people. Like everybody in the town. So like they go to try to report what's going on. The reporter is in on it. The principal is in on it. Like everybody is in on it. So it's like, again, how y'all are comping Get Out and nobody is putting good black friendships in Get Out. Like Get Out had a great black friendship. How are y'all comping this book and nobody has any black friends? Like, I just don't understand. Like, all y'all are trying to copy are the insidious white people. Like, that's it?
Not very original.
Right, at all. And it shows a very, like, elementary understanding of that horror movie.
Mm-hmm. That is correct. That movie is great, by the way. Just saying.
It's a fantastic movie.
And
I'm
when
really excited to see his new
Nope.
one that comes out this summer with Keke Palmer.
Nope.
Nope. I'm excited to see what that's gonna be.
Yeah.
I gotta know, and I'm definitely removing this from my TBR. Yeah, girl. I was like, ooh, what I'm not gonna do is read that.
Yeah. Vicky said it'd be Africans telling Black Americans to suck it up and get over slavery and its lasting repercussions.
Right? It'd be so weird. Like, cause you want to come over here for whatever stupid reason, like literally for propaganda. Like you come over here and then still got to deal with this. Like this dude who immigrated, his son was shot like within the last month. Like came here for a better life, and
yeah,
it makes no sense.
North America ain't where it's at, guys.
Right.
Pat,
I think people are like exaggerating when they try to warn you. Like, okay, well, get over here and find out fat meat's greasy for yourself.
Yeah. Pat said people live in their own little world. Correct.
That part.
Others code that language and bootstrapping and working hard and blah blah blah. Yeah.
Like we all start with the same bootstraps. Like what? Come on, figure this out. I think you like the other books I read by him. Ocean at the End of the Lane was my favorite so far, and Graveyard Book. Yeah. So Tay Light has read other Neil Gaiman books and she likes it, but she's even said that this one is different.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not the same. And so I'm actually glad I read something else of his before this, because I'm not sure how I would feel if this was my like introduction to him.
Mm. Yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. I really want to read Good Omens. I want somebody to read that one.
I want to read Good Omens. I really do. And I want to watch the show because I saw like 2 episodes of the show and I was like, this looks funny. And I was like, I hope the book is this humorous because I would totally read it.
Oh, and that's the thing. Like, I find American Gods funny. Like, I was literally like in my car driving and I'm like laughing out loud. Like, I find it amusing. So that's why I'm
it is definitely amusing, and that's part of the like keeping me reading it for sure. Mm-hmm. Because if I wasn't entertained, I definitely would be like, ooh, y'all. I mean, I'm reading, but I don't know when I'm gonna finish.
It's all right. I'm so pumped for House of Leaves. Like, that's what
I'm excited about. And I can't remember that book that somebody else suggested that was like How to Leaves times 10. So I reached out to Bree Cherie, who was in the chat, and she was like, I can't remember either, but she sent me like a list and it's like 10 books that are like on the scale of House of Leaves. And I was like, I'm gonna bring this up to Dejana and see, because Birdman Hands, I'm curious. Specifically because I really want to write a cipher book. Like I know that I do. And so like the idea of getting to play around it, especially like thinking about the escape room collection I want to write, like, and make those like actual puzzles you solve like while reading the story. Like I think that would be like it would be a dope second self-published thing. So
y'all just be on the lookout. Like I said, subscribe to Shay, follow the social media, be on the lookout. Don't miss out. All right. Vicky said, first time I heard that come out of the mouth of someone who looked like me, I was devastated, so hurt.
Yeah.
Mr. Senator, don't have boots. Y'all bought them all before I started earning money for my labor. Yeah.
That part. Man, so I remember for like Black Aweenathon, I was reading The Ancient Nine. Set on Harvard's campus. And so like the man went to Harvard, and so there's a lot of like history. When you hear about the money that is in Harvard and know that all of it came during like times of slave labor, and you're just like most of the families that attend Harvard have been attending Harvard for centuries. Like there's no question that they're gonna go there and be there and all these things. And it's insane to like people act like slavery wasn't a big deal when there are like people literally still thriving off of the money that was made at that time. And nobody wants to talk about that. And it's like, yo, there's this girl I follow on Instagram, and she's been doing this series about like ways in which slave labor still exists. So like how like it's not called New York, it's called New York American Life Insurance Company now or something, but originally they used to insure slaves. And so like even if you didn't have slaves, because you invested in the bank, you would get dividends based off of like the insurance of slaves. So like even if you said I didn't own slaves, my family didn't own, you still made some money off of the fact that these human beings existed. And I'm just like, and these companies still exist. The names have changed, but like it's still the same company. And it's like, wow, y'all, history is crazy. Like whenever somebody's like, I love being a history major, I'd be like, how, bruh?
No, thank you.
Right. I don't want to know. I like it's a lot.
Yeah. Actually, a show I'm watching right now, it's called Lovecraft Country.
I want to watch it so bad. I got to be in an
interesting.
emotional place though, because
Yeah.
I think it's a lot.
Yeah.
But I want to watch it so bad.
It's good. I'm enjoying it. I think I started watching it when it first came out, and then like I don't know what happened, but I just started watching it again. I'm like on episode 6 or something like that. It's so good. And it's also like it's terrifying in multiple ways, because like you have the historical aspect of like just these people's lives on their own are scary.
That part.
But then you add in the Lovecraft as well, and it's like doubly like horrific. But it's so awesome. I love the show. I'm really enjoying it.
At the beginning of The Other Black Girl, it's like a quote, and it's like Black history is horror. Or something like that. And I was like, by Tana Reeve Dew, because she did like a horror noir, like kind of like, I think it reads like it's a history of like Black horror in like writing genre, I guess. But I was like, if that's not a real ass quote,
it's legit.
Like the truth is, it would have been terrifying to live in the past as a Black person.
So I'll spoil part of the episode that I just watched of the show, and it just really like hit me like what, like it's just so bad. So there's this lady, her name's Ruby, and through some turn of events, she gets turned into a white lady and is walking around her home neighborhood, and she's confused and literally looks crazy. And so many people are coming to her, like Black people coming to her, offering her help and whatever. Like, are you okay? What's whatever? And this little boy, he's like my little brother's age, bumps into her with his popcorn. And the popo pull up and start like throw this kid onto the ground, whatever. He was just trying to help her and whatever. It was just an accident. And like you can see her, she's like a white lady. She's like, stop. Like, what are you doing? And they're like, no, you don't have to defend him. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, he like literally all of these people are trying to help her, and they're getting in trouble for helping her.
Right.
Like, what is going on? So yeah.
Man, when I watch stuff, and I've been like I know that people talk about like things that the Black community or Black families do are bad, and just like it's like I can agree with you that these things are bad, but if you look at the history of what had to happen, like these were people trying to protect their children from dying. Like, so it is, don't look them in the eye. Don't always say yes, ma'am, yes, sir. Don't get too close. Don't do like, these were survival tactics so that they didn't end up seeing their kids like parade, like Emmett Till. And to know that even the truth could get you killed. So like lies are even worse.
Yep.
So
again, history is not it for me. It's not it.
Right. It's not it. I don't want it. Never been a fan of it.
What time period would you want to be living in? And would you go back in time? And I'm like, yeah, the dresses were pretty, but no thanks.
If I were to go back in time, the furthest back I'm going is the 70s. I'm not going back any further than that. Like no further. And the 70s was still like 50 years ago. Like I'm not going back no further than that personally. I don't want it.
it was still shaky even in the 70s.
Right, it was still super shaky.
So
I barely want to be in the 2020s.
That part. Yep. So I will go to the future. How about that?
Oh yeah, no, I totally go to the future. Totally be like, okay, how long do I think it would take America to get their shit together? I'm gonna be honest, it'd probably be 200 years from now.
Probably.
Like, I probably like it wouldn't be 30. Because one thing I know about being a human is we are very arrogant in what we think we can learn and get past. Like,
I feel like there's a couple generations that have to pass before.
There's a couple of generations, right? So it'd have to be 21, 22 for me.
That's our guess.
That's the soonest that I'd want to drop.
That's our guess, y'all. You heard it here first. Alicia, Good Omens buddy read, I would be down.
I could totally throw that in for like what would be our June book, since we got House of Leaves for May.
I feel like May is not going to be enough for House of Leaves, but like I'm down.
Well, see, here's my thing is like I'm honestly like once that physical book gets here, I honestly don't think I'm gonna stop reading it, because unless I get like frustrated trying to solve something, because I feel like it's just gonna be like, oh my god, what is it? Like, that's what I feel like, and I'm hoping that it is, because that excitement is like, oh, this would be awesome.
I'm super excited to read it. So we will see. Bonnie's writing them down. Oh, I didn't read this one.
Yeah,
Vicky said the show is hilarious. Can't wait to read the book. I have not seen the show either at all. So
which I think it's also on Prime. So I think it's like also something we could like watch together.
Love that. Okay, here we go. Really heartwarming friendship. Yes. I've heard a lot of good things about Good Omens. So
yeah.
Generational pride is kind of disgusting. You right. Making excuses for touchy uncle. You right. History is exhausting. You are also correct.
These are all truths. I don't see any lies, madam.
There are no lies. Bonnie said Lovecraft was amazing. Watched it and read the book. I actually have the book as well, but I started watching the show first, so I'll finish the show and then read the book. But I'm glad it's good. I was kind of like iffy because I'm pretty sure it's written by like a white dude, right?
Right.
So I was like, but the show is real good. So you know what? We'll see. I'll give it a chance. Pat said a lot of them are tied up with the banks. You right? I'm assuming that was, yeah. Lovecraft has an episode about the Emmett Till story too.
I can imagine. I mean, because you kind of like, the truth is, you really, if you talk about the civil rights movement and you don't talk about Emmett Till, you're not talking about the civil rights movement. Like, what his mother did was the catalyst for what happened. Like, and to act like it didn't take a lot to parade your son's body around open casket so that people could see like the horrors is like something that I personally could have never done. Like, the truth is like, I know I would have been dead in the past, because like I would have just killed somebody. Like, I would have killed somebody without any regard to the fact that like I'm gonna lose my life because my temper is bad. Like, I know that I wouldn't have had the wisdom or foresight like so many of the people before us did to like swallow stuff. Like, the truth is, like, I hate the line like, I'm not my ancestors. You right, because like I don't have that strength. I don't have that strength to look you in the face and let you talk to me crazy and be like, let me go home to my family at the end of this night.
You're right.
So, man, I want to watch it, but I know I'm gonna like need it, because it's like, I don't know if y'all seen Them or heard of Them on Amazon Prime. It's another like Black horror, but it's set in like the 1960s, 70s, like, so the Great Migration, when a lot of Black people were moving from the South to California. Y'all, like, the most I can do at one time is one episode, and I have yet to watch an episode that did not have my like face streaming in tears after. Like, not only is the like horror, like outside of the horror, the racism is horrific. Like, that's it. Then you add the horror elements and the visuals. There's like this one scene in the show where like the dad, he was like in the military, he was in the war, and so there's like either tear gas or some gas, and it reminds him a cake, like a smell of like a cake or an apple pie. And so whenever his wife would bake it, it would like trigger him, and he like go back. And so before the like start of the show, something happened to their son. I haven't finished this, so I don't know what happened, but he's no longer alive by the like start of the show. And so there's like an instance, she slapped the white woman, she just like bop, and like they called the police. And so the police like obviously know like y'all have done something to these people, because every time a black person moves in this house, they move out, but of course they're still white. And so the husband kind of makes it like, no, it's I'll she just needs to lay down, she's just not feeling well. And so the wife like takes that as a slight, like, I'm not crazy, don't play me like I'm crazy. And so she decides to bake this pie that she knows triggers him, because she's angry because she feels betrayed. And they are literally sitting at the table with their kids, and the husband like eats this pie, and is like tears streaming down his face, and it's just like he's gonna eat it and he's gonna stomach it. And she's across the table and she's looking at him, and then she starts crying. And when I tell y'all, like the cinematic of like having to like fight with each other but be with each other, and like understand it is not against each other in here. And then as a black man having to like, I know what you're doing and I know what you mean this to do, but I'm gonna take it because you're my wife and I understand that I hurt you. Like, y'all, the visuals of that scene were phenomenal. Like, but was I crying my ass off? Yes, tears everywhere. But like, as a black person in America, like, you couldn't not understand both sides of it. Like her being upset, and then him being like, we gotta live through this. We can't haul off and hit them every time they do stupid stuff. Like, we gotta make it through this. Y'all, I'm just saying, resilience is crazy.
That it is. Well,
I'm sorry, I'm just like talking and stuff. My bad.
No. I'm like, I guess I gotta add another show to my TBR. TBW. TBW. That's a thing now. Whoopings. If you teach your kid to obey authority in most situations through fear, they might actually survive the police, because we know that's what they want. They miss the slave mentality.
Right. Like, people, because like that's the thing is, y'all be like, don't whoop your kids. Black people don't need to whoop your kids. But then when a black kid does something or anything, well, if you were punishing your kids, well, wait a minute, which one is it? And then let's not act like we didn't get whoopings from y'all beating us to get us to act right how y'all wanted us to act. Like, let's not act like y'all didn't start this. Y'all were the originators. Like, let's not.
Me too, Bonnie. Send me
forward.
History is very deep.
My bad, I didn't even say hi.
Hello, sorry, I showed you.
He was like, when are you? He messaged me. He was like, I don't see you. You're not live. Oh, I'm co-hosting. Here's the chat.
Thanks for coming. History is very deep and hidden, so much to discover. You're right.
Very true.
Vicky is going to at least 8,000.
Vicky said, I'm going way for it.
I'm dead.
I love it.
It's gonna take the whole world being brown.
Man. The truth is,
you're right.
Right.
Bonnie's going into the year 3000. Love that.
I'm not mad at it.
Then they'll discriminate against eye color and hair type.
Man, the way I fully believe that black people in America will get reparations when white people can figure out how they benefit from it. Like, I guarantee you that the year that we have reparations, the population of Black America goes up. Now, we ain't been above 12% in like 200 years, but watch us jump to like 30 out of nowhere. We already got girls on TikTok talking about I got 0.9% Nigerian in me, so I'm black. Okay.
Is this the same girl who did sticky bangs?
No, I have to send you it. Y'all, she like tanned. Like she's like darker than my skin color, but because she tans, and she writes like hashtag like black girl magic, like I'm a black woman, you can hate, like literally her whole TikTok personality is this thing. Literally has like pictures of her like being a child and like looks like she's in like Irish garb, and then does like the glow up is real. And it's like she's a black woman, and it's like, no, you're not, baby. Like you're not. Like you can paint your skin whatever color you want, but you are not a black woman, honey. It's not a thing. Yeah.
Big yikes. Big yikes.
Huge yikes.
Woman was so strong, forever grateful for the sacrifice she made. You right.
For real.
My mouth, my hand, I wouldn't have severed.
Right. I would have lost something.
Cannot watch them. My mental can't hang.
Yeah, no, it's definitely like, it's like if you see that and you're like Lovecraft Country is easier to watch than this, I'll jump on Lovecraft Country because them is hard.
Well,
yeah, that part. You mad all the time.
Yeah,
you mad all the time.
Question of who you want behind the belt. Person who loves you, or the officer accusing you of pulling a weapon so he can murder you without.
That
part. Percentage game. Sure, because something extra atrocities.
That part.
Yeah. And then sticky bangs. Yes.
Man.
Sticky bangs.
I am glad she took that video down and everything, because sometimes they won't. They will die on those heels, and you be like,
what is a sticky bang? Oh my God. I just remember them being like too long. No. No. Sticky bangs are no. Anyway, okay. We're like at 3 hours now. So
yay!
Awesome. Shay, any announcements to make before we head out?
Any announcements? So When Black Women Speak is canceled for tomorrow. We will be figuring out the time for that, rescheduling, excuse me. And then Tuesday, I'm supposed to be live on my channel, but internet is still being finicky, so there's a good chance that we just might switch to Nicole's, and I'm co-hosting because I don't want us to have no problems. And y'all saw last week, you know, your girl was out like every 5 minutes of a 35-minute live. So, you know, we not trying to have that happen this time. Mm-hmm. Not those bangs were her eyebrows, but they were, though.
It's okay. Okay. For me, sorry, I'm just reading the comments. For me, I've made a stream for tomorrow morning again. 5:30.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'll be trying to be there, but it is 4:30 my time. You know
so I'm honestly, I do not hold it against you because I don't even want to be there, but I'm going to be there.
Are you vlogging it too?
It's part of a vlog. So,
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, 5:30 tomorrow morning. I will be here again to do some writing. Your girl has been slacking this weekend because it's a weekend, and that's just
you need to recuperate. That's why y'all got the long weekend. I get it.
Thank you. I needed to sleep, so I'm gonna get up tomorrow and 5:30 and start again. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you. And yes, it was an awesome discussion. I love when we can like actually chat about things. It's great.
I know, right?
Yeah. So thank you everybody for coming, and we will see you maybe tomorrow, maybe Tuesday.
Definitely Tuesday.
Whatever. Yes.
Because you're hosting on Tuesday, right? Or no?
I'm supposed to be, but I have to talk to you about it anyways. So.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, thank you everybody. Bye.
Bye.